Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor who's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored by our friends C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor Show. They are linked in our description, so you guys can go and check them out. But first, let's get into our weather for today. We're going to see Central Plains at risk for some severe weather. Storms are going to continue through that Nebraska and Iowa corridor for today. And then into tomorrow, a similar risk area is possible. We're going to see some hail and wind chances through the Central Plains as well as up into the Northern Plains. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But yes, Kansas City and Des Moines are both in the risk for tomorrow. And then we also have a wind risk for you today. So before we get into our weather, I want to get into our upcoming events. So Burgers and Bikes, this is our first one. That's going to be on June 25th in Moore, Oklahoma. You guys can come check out some bikes and eat some burgers with us, talk some weather. Should be really fun. So that is at Fort Thunder, Harley-Davidson. Make sure to come see us there. And then we will also be at the 2021 FRSA Convention and Expo at Gaylord Palms Resort. That is in Kissimmee, Florida, July 21st through the 23rd. So guys, come out to Florida, or if you're already in the area, come out, register for that, and check us out there. And then last but not least, this one's in September, but we're really excited about this one, guys. This is the Thunder Road Race for Recovery. This is a charity event that we are participating in at the Oklahoma Motorsports Complex. So make sure to get registered for that. It's in September, so you guys got plenty of time, but that's gonna be in our neck of the woods in Norman, Oklahoma. So all of you guys in Oklahoma or around the area, make sure to come up to Norman and see us there. Now into yesterday, we want to look at our storm reports that we got there. We got a couple areas where we saw some scattered storm reports moving through. The only severe storm reports that we want to focus on are here in Nebraska and Iowa once again. Got a few swaths of some severe hail moving through central Iowa as well as eastern Nebraska. Even one through Des Moines. So we had a little bit of activity moving through yesterday that should help us pop up those hail counts for the year into today. But yes, this was our activity from yesterday. And then into today, we're looking at clear sunny skies across most of the US. We got some scattered showers here and there as we get those storms moving off of the East Coast. Looking into our risk area, gonna be clear and sunny, help us with plenty of that daytime heating that we need for those storms to fire off. But generally beautiful across most of the US right now. We are sitting in the 60s across the West Coast, moving up into the 80s through the south, a little bit warmer in Denver at 92. So usually gorgeous conditions across most of the country, mostly gorgeous through there, a little bit warmer in some areas, but plenty of summertime conditions to go around. Then into our dew points, going to be pretty sticky through the southern U.S. right now, 73 in Dallas, 78 in New Orleans. So very muggy conditions down south. We're working our way all the way up to 69 in Wichita, Kansas. So still very humid conditions if you get east of the Rockies, and then once you get west, that dry line cuts off all of that humidity, and we work our way down into the 30s for our dew points in the western U.S. Which leaves us with our Cape for today. So we've got those nice warm values that we're looking at through Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and all the way up through the northern plains here. And that's what we want to see for those storms to develop through that area here. So that's going to continue to move upward as the night goes on, and as those storms roll through, they're going to feed off of that energy and that instability, and that should help us with that hail and gusty wind risk for today. So here's our future radar. Here's what we got for you for those storms developing into this evening. So as we move into 5 p.m., that's when we saw those Cape values start to really warm up through the central plains, and that's when we'll get those storms firing off in western Nebraska there. We get a couple of isolated cells that could be hailing as they move eastward, but then they pretty quickly get messy as the night goes on. Get messy storms down here could produce a wind and isolated hail risk, as well as some storms up through Minnesota and Wisconsin. And then as we move through the night, these are going to band up pretty solid band forming there as they move southeastward through Nebraska. Again, gusty wind and isolated hail threat through that storm system that's pushing through, and then some scattered storms through Minnesota as well. Which leaves us with our hail risk for you guys for today. So here's what we got. $1.25 to $1.5 through the central plains, all the way from Kansas into eastern and central, or western and central Nebraska, and then another swath here through Minnesota and through Wisconsin. So zooming in here, low end chances of seeing hail, since that is going to band up through central Nebraska. We're going to see our isolated storms starting through the western part of the state. That's when we could see some bigger hail. And then depending on how long those stay isolated, we could continue to see some large hail pushing through. However, the chances are going to diminish as that pushes eastward and we see that band up producing our wind threat. So low end chance of $1.25 to $1.5 for Omaha, low end chance for North Platte, depending on whether those storms can stay isolated, but this area through central Nebraska could see ping pong to golf ball sized hail tonight with that storm system. And then working our way on up into Minnesota and Wisconsin, $1.25 to $1.5 again through Grand Forks, and then as we move southeastward, we could see some larger hail working its way through north central Minnesota. Duluth, you guys are at a moderate chance of seeing hail. Any of those isolated storms that move through could produce some ping pong to golf balls again for you guys. And then as we push southeastward through the night, more $1.25 to $1.5 for the northern part of Wisconsin. So that's what we have for our hail risk. For wind, same kind of risk areas today through the northern part of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then again through the central plains. Like you guys saw earlier, those storms are going to band up, and once they do, gusty wind threat through that area. So that's not Des Moines, Kansas City, Omaha, and then North Platte. You guys could also see some gusty winds as those push through. We could see some collapsing storms producing some outflow winds, as well as that band of storms that's going to push through, producing our wind threat that we so usually see with those clusters. And then up through Minnesota, it's going to be mostly scattered storms through here. However, a couple of those, again, could collapse, get you some damaging winds through there all the way from Grand Forks into Duluth, and then northern Wisconsin once again as we get those pushing through. So hail and wind for today through the central plains and the northern Midwest area through Minnesota, Wisconsin. Could see some scattered storms pushing through, giving us some severe weather. Then into tomorrow, similar story, bigger risk area, bigger chances for hail. So we're going to see these messy storms moving out of Kansas City area, and depending on the outflow that happens with that and how fast the air behind it can recover, we could see some pretty strong storms moving through with that, but it's going to be very dependent on those storms moving out of Kansas and into the Ohio Valley area. So as that happens, we're going to see those push their way eastward, and then we'll get some storms that are going to pop up behind it, guys, and as that happens, we could see some larger hail associated with those isolated storms. We are expected to have some pretty good instability behind that, but again, it's going to be very dependent on this system as it moves out. So by 3 p.m., we're going to start to see those isolated storms through northern Kansas and southern Iowa. See some isolated storms popping up again through Minnesota and Wisconsin. and even more storms for you in northern Montana, and those are going to work their way down into the northern plains. So that's by 3 p.m. Then as we roll into the afternoon and evening hours, everything kind of blows up by 5. So here's what our risk looks like for Kansas and Iowa. You're going to see those storms start to get messy once again. So they're going to band up pretty quickly once again through that area as they stay isolated. That's where we get those large hail chances. So we could still be seeing some large hail through Kansas and Iowa with these storms that are pushing through, since some of them do kind of linger by themselves. And then Minneapolis, or Minnesota and Wisconsin area, that is going to start to band up pretty quickly through there. Still staying isolated in Montana, and as that pushes through, we could see some larger hail with that. And then moving into the night, continuing to get messy, and there's our band that's going to start moving through Kansas. Messy storms moving through the Central Plains. A couple of these could produce some isolated hail as it pushes eastward. And then as we push through the northern part of the U.S., we're going to see those storms clustering all together through the night and into the evening. So messy storms through the northern plains, messy storms through the Central Plains, and a band moving its way through Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, down into the Ohio River Valley. So then, here's what we got for our hail forecast for you guys. It's gonna be, like I said, pretty complicated, depending a lot on the setup from today, but we do have a $1.25 to $1.5 size threat through Montana, North and South Dakota there, and then we've also got this big band of storms that we could see forming through Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Central Plains there. So moving on in there, Kansas City, yes, you guys are in the risk for some $1.25 to $1.5 sized hail. Definitely going to see $1.25 to $1.5 sized hail through this area. Kansas City, you guys could see ping pong to golf ball size tomorrow. And then this area of larger hail could be extended into Kansas City and up into Des Moines tomorrow, depending on the instability from that system. But we're going to leave you guys in the ping pong to golf ball size threat for tomorrow. And then up into Nebraska, Grand Island could also see some larger hail moving through that area. Des Moines, again, you're on the northern end of that risk. Not sure that this area through here is going to have enough time to recover from that first band of storms moving through. So probably some smaller hail up into Des Moines. Minneapolis and Green Bay could also see some $1.25 to $1.5 sized hail. Then up into our northern risk here, Glasgow, also some $1.25 to $1.5, as well as Bismarck, North Dakota, as those storms move through, and any of that area could be a gusty wind threat as well. So that's what we have for you guys into today and into tomorrow. Going to see probably not a ton of activity today compared to tomorrow. We might see a little bit more excitement into tomorrow evening. So make sure to stay tuned to our forecast videos. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then if you guys want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details on who we are and what we do. And we will keep you guys updated on that risk into tomorrow. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrew Myers. Thanks for watching.